Ronaldinho success!
Hey, episode 8, freaking show and tell of Bishop Joansie. Holy crap, guys! It's been a hectic year, all these protests and coronavirus. But now, like, I got invited from the Spanish Art League. I mean, like, to see that, like, the nice fancy yellow, like, you know, like the sharpness. Just my way of saying, like, yeah, we're back, baby. After all the slow nonsense, because all the business was slow.
Understatement of the year.
Understatement of the freaking year. Yeah, it's been a slow year for some. But for me, it's like, yeah, you see how the logo and how it pops in the situation. It's all based off the meme and that flair of video games. Like the parody of a video game cover because, yeah, business was slow, but, you know, you got to press start to do the thing. You know what I mean? And that's like with anything.
Un minuto, faltan. Brasil, golazo, golazo, golazo. Increíble jugada. Brasil.
Let's move on though to the Ronaldinho. I like his face. He's like, you know, he's like witted. He's like in that moment. He's just stoic. He's just on that motion where he's like ready to swam that trippy glass ball into your face, like pop, you know, and some funny shit. Some funny things because the ball looks like trippy as fuck. You could like mistake it for like, you know, like a cathedral. Stained glass. Stained glass. I like his socks to see the retro colors. They complement the retro colors. I'm just a sucker for retro colors. You see, guys, he's got the Brazilian jersey going, like the green and the yellow, because Brazilian colors, it just makes it pop. I like the little logo. I didn't think too much of it. It's just like composition and filling in that empty space.
It's like a fire burning in his heart.
Exactly, a fury, a crest, you know, like even the fancy collar for no reason.
Fuego.
Fuego. And then he's got this thing in between where it's like, you know, it's called like a trippy, like they call it like trippy old African patterns. And he's like that direction of like that rush where it's just like, you know, retro Africa, because God, you know, who doesn't love retro African vibes, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, the wind just fluttering in his sleeves. Like,
yeah, like it just complements like the directional pattern. Look at that. Great timing, though. See the Macho is doing funny shit.
Yeah, they're here to stop this video, but they can't stop it.
But yeah, that's just like, yeah, exactly. That's just my way of saying like, yeah, you know, like the propeller of directions of a triangle. It's the perfect shape. You got like the trippy ball. I like these yellow things because it adds on to a funny shape with the contrast, but it's like unintentional, like the hexagons. You know, God's equation, mathematics.
Yeah, tessellation.
Tessellation, it's about the mathematics really matter. So yeah, that's Ronaldinho though, you know, that's his swaggy piece style with the dynamic circles and dynamic shapes. I like this guy. I like to call him freaking Enya. Just to go off in the whole Spanish vibe. See Enya, he's like, you see, it's like it's a slam dunk for this one because he's with the stripes and it's like that direction, you know, like kick the ball. Like,
yeah, he's got flair for days.
He's got flair for days. He got like the retro cut, and then that's the 3-minute mark. Wow. All right, so yeah, on some 3-minute mark shit, that's the retro phase. You got the, you know, the freaking wavy shit, and you got the stadium, and you see how crazy the stadium is.
Yeah, you can hear the soccer fans cheering.
Yeah, I mean, that enthusiasm where it's like you can just get away with funny shapes, like here with the Mexican flag, here with like a nice little pillar, here with like a flower here, a funny flower there, a rose, chickadees, you got like a rose there, you got like a daisy there, you got like a big sign, you know what I mean? This is like some cryptic shit.
Yeah, the stadiums are empty now, though.
The stadiums are empty, and that's kind of like a metaphor, but it's still a nice looking stadium. You know, I sneaked in a yeet,
it's dripping off the page.
Exactly, like that radiance of like, okay, it's a nice stadium. But like on some finale touches though, we got the birds. Art was mentioning how they look like little relinquishes. For me, this was just an experimental thing. I was just like, let me just like make something to fill in the empty space.
Yeah, right. It's like they have something very cryptic to say, but it's like we're not worthy enough to hear what it is.
Something like that. And like I don't even know what it means, to be honest. Like that's just my experimental phase. And then you got like clouds looking angry.
You'll have to check back after a few millennia and then tell us.
Back.
Leave below in the comments what your interpretation is.
Interpretations. On some final notes, you know what I mean? Like the importance is like this is like this trippy background. That's just picture on picture technique, you know, like double exposure. But as you can see, you know, Bishop Joansie, Sin Cos Tan, that homage to like, you know, his mathematics and God's equation of like how like
A squared plus B squared equals C squared.
In the Genesis Omega console in 1993. I think that is that. If I said anything else, I've been repeating myself, and I think that's a slam dunk footage right there. So let's wrap that shit up. Bop.
Sponsors today.
There's just sponsors. We got our fake sponsors. All-purpose cleaner. Shrimp Clean Power. Straight. Sponsored by Eco. That's wow. A broad name. We got Smart Care hand sanitizer.
If you know, you know.
You know, you know. Kill all the germs. Sin, Big Apple. You know, wink, wink. You know. guy. He hooking it up, man. You know, he's a great guy. I love Big Apples. How about you, right?
Yeah, I love Big Apple.
I love Big Apple's products. And you know, the Big Apple is a beautiful city. Grapes.
Big Apple.
Great for phony sponsors. You know what I mean? There's gonna be like rocking chairs. Art. Tell us about like the importance of entry-level politics.
Entry-level politics are important because young people aren't involved in the conversation ever. It's just like old out of touch people that don't have your interests at heart. They have their own interests that they've developed over time. That's what they're representing. So, you know, every area has districts and the
Power to the people.
yeah, power to the people.
The budget is an item approved, so while the mayor of New York has a whole lot of power, the mayor can't do nothing without a whole lot of use. Since 1990, they've had the power to choose how different tracts of land can and can't be used, and there are 35 committees that provide oversight from parks and recreation to civil rights. New York City Council, New York City Council, keep the mayor.
What is your starting salary? 148. They're gonna tell you it's 112K.
Council members also voting the leader. A person to represent them, they call him the speaker. The
they
most
gotta raise
powerful
it
reps after the mayor of course. They help the council agree on what they
There's a
stand
lot
for.
of
So what can
local
city
equality
council do for you and me exactly? They'll give us tax breaks when disasters happen. And then we know you're wondering how much each member makes. Well, salaries start at over 112K.
Wait, that's enough to be in to get a nice home, a nice apartment, a whole office. There's more perks to city council. You get a whole office. Like, who's my city councilor? Margaret Chin. Point is that the true change is in local entry-level politics, guys. Don't underestimate the powers we have at hand. These are our God-given rights as Americans, where we can do what we do because we do it best. You know, through the bad and worse. It's a wrap.